Hey guys and girls, welcome to this lesson where we're going to be tackling a really important question I've had from two students already. And the question is, how do I use the like tool within Jarvee to expose my account instead of sort of doing this whole boost engagement tactic that has been explained? So, instead of pretty much liking your followers' latest posts or people who have interacted on your posts, we're going to be discussing how you can actually go find new people. So the same way that follow works, we go out there, we find new people, we follow them, hoping they'll follow you back. We're also going to do that same concept with liking. So let's jump into it. Here we are in the tools section. We are going to come into the more tools tab. Straight away, we're going to jump into the likes tab as well up top. And in here, we can see, we got settings, sources, results. We've been through all this before, we've set up the actual settings perfectly, so there's no real reason to actually come in here and change anything, ever, which is great. What we are going to do is jump into the sources section, so I'm just moving my mouse around here a little bit, hopefully you can see what I'm on about, but we are in the sources area. And originally what we were doing is, we were liking posts of our followers. And then our second option was, after we can't find any more posts from our followers because its selection rank is number 10, we said, hey Jarvee, please, go find people who have interacted with posts on our account. So, we added in our username, it's all in there, and we make sure that the people that we target are fairly new, all that good stuff. And then, if we find no one through that, we just go and like our latest feed post, which is great. So instead what we could do is, we could turn off this option, like the latest feed post, and we could also turn off like posts of followers. Of course you can keep these on, there is no reason for you to turn these off, but what we're going to specifically discuss is, targeting actually hashtags, and then also keeping this option on here, but instead, as you can see, I don't have anything down here right now just for demonstration, we're going to target accounts just like we are doing in the follows. So we're going to target, users who are liking and commenting on competitor accounts or accounts you've researched where you believe your demographic is best available. So let's talk about keywords first. So like post by keywords. What you can do in here is you can simply just type in a keyword, and what Jarvee is going to do is going to find posts with a hashtag or that keyword actually related to it. So the way we can think about this is, of course, you can type in a hashtag like so, and technically this is a keyword. Jarvee doesn't really see a hashtag like Instagram does. This is actually a word including the hashtag. So if you specifically want to target hashtags, you can type in the hashtag and it'll find that. Whereas if you maybe just wanted to say, for example, target, let's just type in surfing here. If you wanted to find any posts that have surfing in, it's going to check like the caption. It'll check if, this is in a hashtag. It's basically looking for these letters that are in a upload. Whereas if you actually put the hashtag, you're going to specifically be targeting, this whole word itself, including the hashtag. If you want to add more, you can add a comma, type in some others, to type in like football, like obviously don't use these hashtags. I'm just trying to show for demonstration purposes. You pretty much want to type in your hashtags like so with just a little comma after each one. And you can, of course, just type in a normal keyword. So if you wanted to find anything with the word fancy in it or keyword, you could do that as well, which is really cool. So that is one way you can then sort of reach out, and the one thing I want to suggest on this, just like you do when you find, Instagram accounts to target through the follow method, when we talked about finding competitor accounts, you want to go on, check out who is actually commenting, who is actually, liking the images, making sure it's the right demographic. You should apply that same concept to hashtags. When you go on the hashtag, for example, if you wanted to use hashtag surfing, maybe you have a surfing account, you want to go and see who is actually uploading, pictures with hashtag surfing. Are you going to be wasting your time by liking pictures with this hashtag? Maybe it's just all advertising related content, or maybe everyone who's using this is from maybe South America when you're trying to target people from Europe. Make sure you do your background research, otherwise it's going to be a waste of time for you. But yes, this is how you target hashtags and keywords. Now what we can also talk about, because this is obviously going to expose your account to new people, you can like posts of users that interacted with posts on target accounts. So this is where you could also, keep this same setup, but instead of entering your own account name to find people who are interacting with your posts, you could target people that you've used in your actual follow tab. So for example, we've already used him before. We could type in Gary Vee, and then ultimately what it's going to do is it's going to find people who have either commented or liked on Gary Vee's profile, and it's going to go like their pictures. Now, one thing to think about this, in our unfollow setup, we have used these usernames already. So what I would suggest you do is you find completely different usernames to put in here. Maybe they're the accounts you weren't too sure about if you when you wanted to add them to the follow. Maybe you said, I can see maybe a little bit of my demographic here, but I'm not too comfortable, putting them in. Instead, try those accounts in here, try testing different things out. But of course, once again, make sure that the images you're going to be liking, make sure the people who are commenting on there, open them up in a browser or on your app, check out their images, because you're technically going to be liking people who ever comment on these accounts, their photos. So make sure, do your background research and check them out. But yep, that is how you set it up. That's how you like hashtags on Jarvee. You just do this, or you can type in a keyword, of course. And then the other option here is obviously for a bit more exposure, which is great. So yeah, give this one a little bit of a go. You can of course use a geolocation as well. Exactly tells you how to do here. There's many more options, but this is definitely a popular one and hopefully answers that question for anyone wondering, how do I target hashtags?